news, NMU's Beaumere Center will host an immigration experience exhibit, and Speaker of the House Paul Ryan has announced he isn't running for re-election.
Ryan Gooch will have an update on how much snow we can expect this weekend, and Max Stevens has details on the last day of NBA regular season. Hi, I'm Jillian Wormlinger.
I'm Don Eid. Welcome to Public Eye News. A new exhibit is opening up in Marquette this Saturday. NMU's Beaumere UP Heritage Center is highlighting immigration in the UP, from its first white settlers to modern-day migrants. An opening ceremony for the immigration experience is being held at 1 p.m. this Saturday, and admission is free. The Upper Peninsula has been a magnet for families looking for work for many years, largely due to the logging and mining industries. In particular, those from the Scandinavian regions have been attracted to the UP for its similar climate and families already residing in the area. The exhibit will run from this Saturday until October 13th. And Bay College is exercising an interesting and proactive way to combat unequal pay in the workforce. Bay College professor Molly Campbell held the 7th annual Start Smart Salary Negotiation Workshop on Tuesday, which aims to help both men and women negotiate for the wages they deserve. A few ways in which students learn how to do this include simulated interviews, along with techniques to use during negotiations. Many of the techniques being taught at these workshops are completely new to the students participating. According to research in today's trends, men and women won't achieve equal pay until the year 2059.
Copperwood Resources, Inc., which is a subsidiary of Highland Copper, has completed its winter exploration begun in February of a 1-mile section of the westernmost portion of Porcupine Mountains Wilderness State Park. Exploratory drilling was conducted in this part of Gogebic County to see if the eastern extension of a mineral deposit first explored in the 1950s might feasibly be mined. 3 holes were drilled this winter on park land. If Copper Resources eventually decides to extend the Copperwood project, the copper deposit would be accessed from outside the park boundary, without disturbance to Park Service features. And in January, the state said it received 1,600 to 2,000 calls a week from people reporting unemployment claims filed in their names through identity theft. Yesterday, the Unemployment Insurance Agency visited Marquette County to explain how the state is handling the situation and how the public and businesses can protect themselves from it. In response to these false claims, the UIA has revamped their fraud hotline, responding to complaints as quickly as 2 hours. Agencies advise everyone to monitor and protect both financial and personal information.
The Michigan Department of Natural Resources is getting more funding from the DNR. The Michigan DNR was awarded $100,000 from the Deer Habitat Improvement Partnership Initiative to be used to help improve deer habitats across the UP. Bill Scullin, DNR Field Operations Manager and the administrator for the grant, said, quote, "These grants will produce positive impacts on 850 acres in Menominee, Marquette, Alger, Lucy, Iron Berga, Ontonagon, Gogebic, Schoolcraft, and Mackinac counties. The grants will be dispersed among 11 entities across the UP to help fund projects aimed towards improving the overall habitats for deer." And the city of Flint has stopped providing free bottled water to residents. This came after the city council couldn't agree on funding for the program that would keep the 4 distribution sites open. The state of Michigan pulled out from its own program on April 6th that gave out free water bottles to the residents of Flint. First Ward City Councilman Eric Mace proposed a motion that would allocate $2 million from the city's general fund to keep the program operational. However, this motion was not passed. The motion was supposed to be a short-term solution until the city could find proper funding for the program. Now after the break, we'll have your national and international news. Stay tuned.
Vilna was one of the most important cities in Jewish history.
This is ground zero for the final solution.
In June, the Germans attacked us.
80 Jews hatched a plan. They started digging an escape tunnel. The entrance to the tunnel was found, but they couldn't find the continuation.
You've got no idea what we're going to find down there?
Oh my goodness.
This is astounding.
Tonight at 9 after Nature on Public TV 13.
And welcome back. Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg told a House Oversight panel Wednesday that he believes it is inevitable there will be regulation of the social media industry. Lawmakers in both parties have floated possible regulation of Facebook and other tech companies amid privacy scandals and Russian intervention on these platforms. Lawmakers said repeatedly they think Facebook should probably be regulated, but there was no consensus at all on that point. Members pressed Zuckerberg on the company's privacy policies and often declared that Facebook needs to do more to protect user data. He also disclosed that his company was working with special counsel Robert Mueller in the federal probe of Russian election interference and said it was working hard to change its own operations. And President Trump continues to stir speculation that he will try to fire special counsel Robert Mueller and stop the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 election. Mo Langi is at the White House with more on that and what some in Congress want to do to prevent Mueller from being fired.
President Trump continued his attacks against special counsel Robert Mueller and Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, the two men in charge of the Russia investigation. On Twitter this morning, he blamed the bad blood with Russia on the investigation, which he says is headed up by all of the Democrat loyalists or people that worked for Obama. Mueller is the most conflicted of all, except Rosenstein, who signed FISA and Comey letter. The president's comments are likely to add more fuel to speculation he may try to fire Mueller.
Many people have said you should fire him.
On Capitol Hill, a bipartisan group of senators will introduce legislation today to ensure that special counsel investigators are free to independently do their work.
I think is a good government provision that has as much to do with the future of special counsels as it has to do with this particular one.
But Republican leaders aren't likely to bring the bill up for a vote, saying it's unnecessary.
I don't think he's going to be removed. I think he'll be allowed to finish his job.
There is some question as to whether or not the president even has the authority to fire special counsel Mueller.
We've been advised that the president certainly has the power to make that decision. I can't go anything beyond that.
But by law, a special counsel can only be removed by the Attorney General. But Jeff Sessions recused himself from the Russia investigation last March, leaving Rosenstein as the only one who could dismiss Mueller. Mo Lulengi, CBS News, the White House.
A new wall is being constructed along the U.S.-Mexico border. The wall, which is made out of concrete and metal, is a 20-mile stretch along the border, which is designed to keep out illegal immigrants and prevent drug trafficking. The construction is supposed to take around a year to complete. The wall will be anywhere from 18 to 30 feet and have a 5-foot metal plate at the top to discourage climbing. According to Chief Patrol Agent Aaron Hall, the project will, quote, deter all but the most determined illegal entrants from entering the United States, end quote. U.S. Border Patrol officials say that this is the cost-effective and alternative to mesh and wire fencing, which is currently in place and is expensive to monitor and repair. And a major shakeup in the Republican House leadership is reverberating across Washington. This morning, Speaker of the House Paul Ryan announced that he will not seek re-election. Angelica Alvarez has more from Washington.
House Speaker Paul Ryan announced he will not seek re-election so that he can spend more time with his family.
If I am here for one more term, my kids will only have ever known me as a weekend dad. I just can't let that happen.
The 48-year-old representative from Wisconsin leaves Congress with accomplishments, including major reform of the tax code. Today, Mr. Trump tweeted, Speaker Paul Ryan is a truly good man. He will leave a legacy of achievement that nobody can question. But Ryan's decision to step away from Congress comes at a time when Republicans face uncertainty of winning seats during the midterm elections.
I really do not believe whether I stay or go in 2019 is going to affect a person's individual race for Congress.
Ryan served nearly 20 years in the House and is one of the youngest to be elected Speaker of the House. In a closed-door meeting earlier today, he received a standing ovation from colleagues and even shed some tears.
He leaves a tremendous legacy, and he achieved his ultimate career goal of comprehensive tax reform, and we thank him for being an outstanding leader of our conference and our country.
Ryan's departure opens the door for new leadership, with Representative Kevin McCarthy and Steve Scalise seen as frontrunners. In a statement, Speaker Ryan said he will serve out his full term, run through the tape, and retire in January. Angelica Alvarez, CBS News, Washington.
And after the break, we'll be back with your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
Hi, Hi, I'm Dr. Jennifer Delin, the host of Ask the Doctors. Please join me and many of my colleagues this season for Ask the Doctors. All year long, we will explore important medical topics, talk about new treatments, and most importantly, answer your questions with doctors live in our studio. So join us this Thursday for Ask the Doctors right here on Public TV 13.
Ask the doctors your questions about digestive and general health, Thursday night at 8 on Public TV 13.
And welcome back. I'm Ryan Gooch. I'm going to be taking you through your weather for today. As you can see behind me, it is pretty sunny out there, but that won't last long after the snow this weekend. And looking into your current conditions, it's going to be sunny with a temperature of 40 degrees and winds coming out of the north at 9 miles an hour and a barometric pressure of 29.92 inches and rising. And looking into tonight, it's going to be cloudy with a low of 29 degrees with winds coming out of the north-northeast at 8 miles an hour. And tomorrow, it's going to be cloudy with a high of 38 degrees with winds coming out of the north-northeast at 8 miles an hour. And looking across the UP, it's 36 and cloudy in the Sioux, 44 and partly cloudy in Manistee, 44 and sunny in Escanaba, and 43 and sunny in Menominee. Now looking on the other side of the UP, in Iron Mountain it's 44 degrees and sunny, in Ironwood it's 45 degrees and sunny, and in Houghton and Marquette it is 40 degrees and sunny. Now looking ahead, on Friday, we're going to have a high of 32 degrees with a low of 22 and some snow. Saturday, a high of 26 with a low of 19 and some snow. And Sunday, a high of 25 with a low of 22 and some snow. Now, max temperatures are going to be cooling down this weekend, but I hear things are heating up for the Stanley Cup playoffs.
April is playoff season, Ryan. I'm ready. Tonight begins the Stanley Cup playoffs, and we've got a plethora of exciting first-round matchups. In the Western Conference, things kick off with 2 first-round Game 1 matchups tonight. At 7 o'clock, it'll be the Minnesota Wild and the Winnipeg Jets getting things started, followed by the Los Angeles Kings against the Las Vegas Golden Knights at 10. Also at 7 o'clock, it will be the Philadelphia Flyers against the defending champion Pittsburgh Penguins. And tomorrow, we'll see the remaining 5 playoff series begin. From the East, it'll be Maple Leafs versus Bruins, Devils versus Lightning, and Blue Jackets versus Capitals, while the Western Conference will feature Sharks versus Ducks and Avalanche versus Predators. And tonight is the final night of regular season play in the NBA, which carries a grave deal of importance for only 2 teams. 15 out of 16 playoff spots have been clinched. The only spot that is still up for grabs is the 8th seed in the West, which is between Denver and Minnesota, who conveniently play each other tonight in a win-or-go-home matchup. There are 11 other games tonight, but none matter nearly as much as Nuggets versus Timberwolves. Both teams currently sit at 46 and 35 and have met 3 times already this season. Minnesota holds the 2-1 series advantage and has the home court advantage tonight. The NBA playoffs will begin this Saturday, April 14th. The consensus NCAA Player of the Year, Villanova's junior guard Jalen Brunson, has declared for the NBA draft. In his time at Villanova, Brunson accrued quite a resume of accomplishments, including 2 national championships, Big East Player of the Year honors, and the Wooden and Naismith Player of the Year awards. Brunson is highly skilled at running the pick and roll, shooting off the dribble, and using post moves to create shots. He is currently projected as a late first-round pick. Brunson joins his Villanova teammate Mikal Bridges in the 2018 draft after Bridges declared yesterday. Well, Joe, the Villanova Wildcats losing 2 of their top players, and I hear you have something about cats for us.
That's right, the cat's in the bag. After auditioning 5 felines from the Michigan Humane Society, the Troy Police Department in suburban Detroit added a cat to the ranks Friday. The cat will be used for therapeutic purposes and make public appearances. The department also wants to promote pet adoptions from area shelters. And that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us on today's edition of Public Eye News.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.